And we are live.
What's going on?
Praise God. Praise God. I'm just going to share this
Exactly. Let me do that same thing.
on. Say it again.
I said, let me do that same thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We're good. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I see you.
Do you see me?
There we go.
All right. Sound like a winner chicken dinner.
Yes, sir.
There we go. All right. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, saints, ain'ts, friends, dog, cats, and everything in between, wherever you fall in the spectrum. This is your boy Derek Huggins with All Access Gospel Indie Artist Corner. And ladies and gentlemen, before I tell you and introduce this fine gentleman we have on the other end with us, I want you guys to do me a quick favor. You can take note of our new apparatus and set up here. Thank you so much. You please go over to our website, www.allaccessgospel.com, and then also go over to our Twitter and Instagram pages. You can follow us there. You see it right there on your screen at AA Gospel. Please do that for us. And while you're at it, why don't you just mosey on over to YouTube as well? Yes, we got a YouTube channel too. You know what I'm saying? Go on over there, subscribe to our All Access Gospel channel right on YouTube. That's youtube.com/ All Access Gospel. Please make sure that you do that. Share, like, tag, do all of the things that you guys do. Amen and amen. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to introduce this artist to you guys. Our indie artist corner for the week. His name is Mr. Jared Boyce.
What's going on?
Jared, man, you good?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. A little hungry. Now that hungry is about two steps beyond hungry.
Listen, it's
You got
about that
hungry.
time. It's about that time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got hungry and then you got hungry, and I'm on that side. Uh-huh. But
Ah,
anyway,
ah.
man, so good to have you on with us here at Indie Artist Corner. So excited to do this interview with you and also to premiere your music. I know that just came out. Great, I am. I see you got you rocking the shirt. That's what I'm talking about. Artists, y'all better take note. See what he doing. You see what he doing. He's self promotion. You got to put the promotion out there. You got to get your promotion. All right, Jared. So before we get started, man, why don't you tell everybody how they can follow you on social media?
Listen, guys. Good evening, everybody. You can follow me on all of my social media outlets. On Facebook, it's Jared Boyce. On Instagram, it's the same thing, Jared Boyce. Also, you can type in just Jared 93. Also, you can follow me on YouTube. You'll find a lot of information there. That's under my name as well, Jared Boyce. So follow me right now.
Right now. And while you following him, make sure that y'all follow All Access Gospel at AA Gospel over on YouTube. I'm sorry, at
Uh,
Twitter and Instagram. And then go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, ting, so you can get notifications. Because guess what? We are also streaming live on YouTube right now. Okay. So make sure you guys do that. And by the way, I have a really great surprise that all of our Indie Artist Corner artists are going to be featured on the All Access Gospel Indie Artist Corner Spotify playlist. Yes, we have a playlist over on Spotify. Mr. Boyce's music is already loaded on it, so you can just mosey on over there right now. It's already done. Bam, bam, pow, boom. Go and check that out if you please, and then make sure that you support Mr. Boyce. Go ahead and download it as well. We want to download and we want streams, okay? Because we want to push this on the charts, so make sure you guys do that for us. Go to iTunes, Yo Tunes, They Tunes, Auto Tunes, Every Tune, My Tunes,
all
God,
of them.
Notify, all of the files. Go and check it out right now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much again, Jared, and we're thankful for all of you that are watching. Now, listen, if you are watching, I want you to say what's up to us. Especially say what's up to Jared. You know what I'm saying? I see Denise Johnson watching. She says, I'm proud of you, bro. That's what's up.
What's going
Thank
on? What's going
you.
on?
All of y'all that are out there watching us right now, why don't you show my boy some love by letting them know that you're watching? Say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Elemental P, thank you, Jesus. Glory to God. Great I am. Say something.
Huh? Give him praise. Give him praise.
Yeah, yeah. Type a little something down there in the comment section so he knows that you're watching. All right. So, Jared, before we get started, all of the artists that I have on, I do what I call my top talkers. And my top talkers for the week has to do with pitch. I want to know from you, would you rather be off pitch or forget the words to the song? Go.
I'm gonna have to say forget the words to the song because I do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm finding in this, in this particular poll question that everybody just would rather forget the words because why? We all can relate to forgetting words, and it's much better than being off pitch because then it says, oh, if y'all pitch, then people say, oh, he can't sing. He can't sing. So, I get it. I'm with you on that. And by the way, I want to know, how do you tell people, or have you ever had to tell someone that they were off pitch, and how did you do it?
I just say like let's play a game.
Yeah.
We can get into that later, but I sing with the choir here in Atlanta. We call our call David Walker in High Praise, and what we
Yeah.
call is shaking the tree. All
Yeah.
right. So what we'll do is we'll just pick, one soprano, one alto, and one tenor. Very good strategy. So we'll just sing the part, and of course you evidently know who the person is,
Right.
or who the weakest link is. But we're all great. So
Yeah.
have them sing that particular portion, and then it's kind of like I like to aim for the next note because if they can't get on the note
My God.
by trying to shoot for that next note, you're gonna get that note.
Get
So
on
I'm
the.
gonna need you, listen, get on the note. Listen, so we call that shaking the tree. So I like that strategy as well. It's phenomenal, works every time. And listen, nobody likes to be put on spot. So listen, they're gonna be quick to jump on it.
Listen, you're so right because I remember my choir days when I used to sing with a choir and I had a choir, and I already know. And of course, shout out to David Walker at High Praise. Love you guys down there. I remember when I lived in Atlanta, used to hear you guys sing all the time. So shout out to all of you from High Praise down in Atlanta, Georgia. Now
Uh,
listen, I need y'all Atlanta Georgians stay in the house. Don't let y'all
listen,
governor
listen.
get you in trouble. You understand? Listen,
I'm
because
in
this
this house.
COVID-19 ain't playing no games with anybody. So I need
Nobody.
y'all to stay on in the house. Amen.
Amen.
Amen to God.
Amen again.
Amen. One more game.
Amen.
Sit your end in the house. Unless you got
Listen.
to go to Publix. I miss Publix, by the way. Anyway, we need a Publix in Texas. But anyway,
Oh, you
let's
don't got to
go
go
to
get your
Publix.
chicken. Okay.
Yes, yes, or some kind of essential situation. Because some of the stuff y'all doing ain't essential. Y'all need to quit playing. All right, because this Corona is not playing. As a matter of fact, I lost a very good friend of mine yesterday. Someone I used to sing in the choir with.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yesterday, in his 30s and gone. So
Wow.
yeah, it's real, guys. It's real. So please be safe, be careful. Make sure that you're practicing social distancing. Make sure that you're washing your hands. Y'all should be washing your hands anyway. I don't know
Listen.
why we got to tell you what, but that's I'm gonna leave that alone. All right. So, I appreciate you participating in our top talkers today, Jared. So I want to ask you, go all the way back to the beginning. When did you first know that you could sing? Started singing, have an appreciation for singing, all of that.
Man, I can go back to being a toddler, man. I remember watching home videos of, my family coming together and my grandmother always want me to sing Shake, Shake, Shake. I
Yeah,
mean, every time I saw her, it was always sing, shake, shake, shake. And of course, when you're 2, 3, you can't say much. So we have videos of me singing shake, shake, shake. And just it grew from there, my man. It was my father was a minister of music all over Atlanta and then the keyboardist and the organist. And my mom, she did her thing with the music department and the children's choir. So to be honest, I had no choice. I
yeah.
had no choice. And from there, one thing led to the next. And I just begin to develop this love for gospel music and just singing all together. And now we're here today.
Listen, now you said sing shake, shake, shake. Now we need a point of clarity because you know, those of us that are of a certain age, we kind of can remember a few different versions of Shake Shake. So which Shake Shake were you being requested to say?
Now we talking about shake, 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 shake the devil off. Now,
Dorothy Norwood.
yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Don't let him ride.
Yeah, you might
He,
oh,
that one. Listen, this is holiness over here.
listen. Don't let the devil ride. You might want to drive. Y'all come on here. Some of y'all know
Huh?
what I'm talking about. Y'all listen. You just if you can't say amen, just say ouch. Just say oh me.
Ouch.
Okay? But amen, that's good, man. Glad to hear that. And so now you are, you know, in the artist world doing your thing. And let me ask you, what is it like to be a solo artist versus singing in a choir? Because obviously you sing in a choir, so many other people around you and you're singing together, but now you're on your own. So what is that like?
Man, it's like I don't even know what to think right now. I'm just like so amazed at the opportunity and this particular feeling. Um, I do love singing with the choir, but at the same time, I do love being able to be original and put out what God gave me. So, man, it's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling, and I am a choir boy at heart as well. So it's hard to really get away from the choir feeling and all that, but it's an amazing feeling.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about because I address this with every indie artist that I have on the platform, and I like asking you guys what is it like in terms of transitioning from being a gospel singer or praise and worship leader or choir singer over into the industry, which makes you an artist, and what is that transition like? And specifically, what I'm talking about is actually the rudiments of the industry, like learning about radio promotion and learning about marketing and learning about packaging and all of the things that go along with that.
Man, it's first of all, I'll tell you, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to begin with. It can be kind of overwhelming, but it's a great feeling when it comes to the end result. In regards to, um, of course, being out leading worship, and that was something that you kind of got in the routine of doing, but now you're setting the pace for who you are and who you are in the future. So you begin to just take that even more serious, and of course, just staying prayerful. You can't take prayer out of either one. When you're being a worship leader, when you're leading a song with the choir, you must stay prayed up in regards to all of that, as well as now being an independent artist. Stay prayed up about everything that you do, and pray that the doors just begin to open and God shows you what to do. So that's just where I am right now, is I'm in that place of guide me and lead me as to where I need to be.
Yeah, and one of the things that I often counsel or advise artists when they're looking to start in the industry side of the thing, and been around this industry for 20 years myself, I understand that a lot of the artists that come out there and get going don't recognize that there's so much to it, like you said, because it's so much different than just getting up, picking up a mic on Sunday morning, leading worship or leading a song versus putting out music, like you said, is my packaging right? Is my photography put together? All my social media
Right.
put together? And one of the things that I always advise artists is make sure that you are carefully planning out the after studio stuff, because the studio, everyone's like, oh, I'm in the studio, and that's great. The studio is wonderful, but that's the easiest part of the process. Then you need a plan. And also,
Exactly.
part of that plan includes counting up your costs. What is it going to cost to do this? Because I see this as well. They'll start out, get out there, and then they're like, oh man, we're out of money. So we've got to stop this, got to stop that. And then they, kind of get frustrated. Speak to that piece of it as well. What's been your journey with that, if any?
For me, of course, being that this is my very first single, I wanted to make sure that it was done properly. I wanted to make sure that everything looked the part. So first of all, shout out to my entire team, Cloud Hamilton on graphics, and Jazzy Music Productions, Rico Clark. Thank you all so much for everything that you did, and everyone else. You know who you are. But in regards to that, like you said, it takes a lot. So
Yeah.
Having a plan in place and knowing, okay, well, you know, what's going to come next is as far as a release, what is the different release going to look like. For me, like I ended up taking a lot of, I would say, social media and branding classes, because I wanted to know what were the necessary steps to take and to build my brand, for Jared Boyce. So that's primarily what I did. Of course, saving up, and
Yep.
but you got it. Sometimes you have to go ahead and put um, money behind your project and your future.
Yeah, you definitely want to invest. You for sure. I mean, I'll say that to any artist. I mean, I'm telling you, just think about that. And also, I would advise getting a mentor, somebody who's kind of already been down this process before, especially somebody that's credible, and maybe has some kind of modicum of success doing this. You definitely want to tap in, whether that's a producer that's kind of been around, another artist that's had some, time
Right.
under their belt, or someone like that, an industry official. So real quick, so shout out to a couple people watching. So my girl Gretchen, Irvin Elders, watching from New Orleans, Louisiana. God bless you, sis. I see that Pastor A.D. Shaw from Florida is watching. God bless you, man. And then David Walker himself, the maestro, the choir master. He says, hello, Jared Boyce is watching.
David.
Yeah, so shout out to all of you guys for watching. We appreciate you for tuning in. All right, so so again, we talk about this particular part. Now you are where you are now in terms of Great I Am, the single. I want to ask, is this a part of a EP? Is this a part of a full length album, or is this just kind of saying, hey, I'm gonna test the waters and put out a single?
Listen, right now I'm definitely shooting for a full project. But
Gotcha.
we don't know what this here Rona is about to do and how long
Yeah,
we're gonna be in the house and quarantine and all that kind of stuff. But I'm definitely shooting for a full project. If things don't tend to lighten up with the whole virus and all that, I probably will just leave it to an EP. But there is a lot more to come. So this is not the only thing that's coming from.
absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let me ask you this. You talked about Corona, and obviously we are all dealing with its impact. Me personally, it's really impacted me in a strong way because I also manage artists. I have an artist, one in particular that we had several events slated for her to sing at for the Stellars Awards week. And obviously, when the Stellars got postponed from August, and we had a live streams of things, in that time that kind of got put on the back burner or it's kind of pending rescheduling.
Right.
What has it been like for you during this pandemic, and how are you? How's that kind of commanding what you're going to do post Corona when it's safe to come out, so to speak? What are you trying to do with that, and how are you dealing with it?
Well, first I'll start with this. The virus has definitely given me a different outlook on life. I don't know, you may not know this, a lot of people may not know this. Back in March, my mother was diagnosed with the virus.
Wow.
And it was not just like, okay, a mild case of the virus. She was in the ICU and she was on a ventilator actually for 12 days. That was very interesting. So, just with that, it opened my eyes. It changed my thoughts. It changed how I did my day to day routine, of course. But and of course, me still having to go to work. As much as I want to be safe and stay in the house, I'm technically essential, so I have to go out. But with that, it has definitely increased. For one, my prayer life.
Yeah.
My prayer life has just completely, gone to a different level, and I'm grateful for that. Going forward, when it comes to music, I believe with much prayer time, uh, God is going to birth more, a lot of more music in me, and I'm just praying and excited about what that is to come. So
Yeah.
that's just one thing that I definitely would like to say off that. So.
Yeah, that's great, man. One of the things that too I'm doing personally is I am, I've got multiple businesses and multiple projects going simultaneously. So what I've been doing is kind of revamping, retooling, restructuring, and this platform is one of those things. I came up with this new, apparatus around, our platform here, and so that was one of the things I wanted to retool and make better. And that's kind of generally my mindset overall. I'm always a person that's always trying to, up the ante for what I'm doing next. I'm never content with one level. I always feel like there's more to achieve. And so one of the things I advise artists is during this time, you're an artist, make yourself a career vision board, and plot out. And the vision board may look like, hey, what's your projected timeline to release your project? What are some, short and long-term goals that you want to put on your vision board and things like that? Because what I've come to find is that when you have something visual to look at, it really kind of helps motivate you forward to do that. So that's just a little thing that I always recommend to artists to do as well. Um, and with this COVID-19, of course, like you said, everybody's just kind of on the same level. You got multi-million dollar artists, multi-Grammy award and platinum selling artists. Everybody's at home. Nobody's making, and my heart especially goes out to, all these musicians and songwriters and producers. That's pretty much how they make their money. And so, like you said, with everybody being sheltered in place, they're not able to really be in the studio making music and making money. And so, one of the things I would advise too to any creative, I think what Corona has shown us is you should be multifaceted in your streams of income. Try to find other ways that you can make money and don't just be reliant on your career, that your main career, but make sure you have a side hustle, if you will, or just another business opportunity or something that you can draw on. And what I've come to realize myself, I have multiple businesses because what I find out, sometimes this business over here isn't really clicking, but this one is, right?
Right.
So it's like you always got something, you got a continuous stream going on there. I want to ask you real quick about what has been your perception of other indie artists getting into this industry? And I'm not necessarily meaning that you have to knock them per se, but what do you think are some of the good things that you've seen that you probably will emulate? And what are some things that are not so good that you won't emulate from other artists?
Man, I would really have to say that these last several months, I've heard some great projects come out from a lot of independent artists. And what I would probably have to say, well, first I'll start with one thing that I would take. Of course, the branding piece.
Right.
Making sure that we're doing this proper way. Because again, I look at it as you're representing yourself, you're representing your future, so you're setting that particular standard and that bar. And I've seen some really great, branding strategies, and then I've seen some that possibly could have used a little work. Of course, being that I'm new in this, I'm not gonna, throw too much, salt on the wound or anything like that. But those would just be things that I would take a look at in regards to possibly sound, making sure that you know the particular project that you're putting out. Of course, like you said, you're putting time and thought and good energy into your particular sound as to what you're putting out, because again, right now in this particular time, we need a good sound, we need a good word, we need something that's going to encourage people and lift them up. So those would have to be the two things that I probably would have to say in regards to some of the music that I've seen come out recently.
Yeah, I think that you said something really important. One of the things I'm gonna kind of circle back to something I asked you earlier, which is about the transition from being a gospel singer or a choir singer or whatever to the industry, is that you have to be relevant in the industry. And relevance is not just in terms of your creativity and your artistic ability, but it also has to do with, do you understand things like radio friendly? And what does that
Right.
mean? Is your mix proper? Is your mix proper? Does it have the appropriate TV levels to be played on radio? Is it the right length? Because
Exactly.
sometimes when you're a new artist, you're trying to break into a very, very tough and competitive business already, right? That's
Exactly.
always going to have room for your Kirk Franklins and your Ty Tribbetts and your Mary Marys and your Kiara Shears. Always
Right.
for them. The question is, you are new and you're trying to break into that very tight space of time. And so time is very, very important with artists as well. So I was going to circle back here and ask you this. What do you feel about, um, people who kind of feel like the industry's hating on them or people are hating on them? because they are not getting traction or not getting further than where they hope they'd be. What do you think is the cause of that? And I want you to speak to that.
Honestly, I mean, really, I'm the type of person, I love constructive criticism.
Hmm.
So, and I have that, mentor that you spoke of. So,
Yeah.
my mentor, he's really great at, telling me like it is. Hey, this sound will work. This sound is not going to work. This is what you need to do. This is what you don't need to do. So, in regards to the artists now that are putting music out that's not getting, um, what you were saying is, I wouldn't look at it in a bad way. I would just use it, take it, run with it, build off of it, get better behind it. Because again, like you said, there's a sound, there is, um, if I just look at it as, if you want to go somewhere, you have to be willing to invest and put that right time and effort into your music. So,
Yeah. Question: were you scared to do this?
not scared. I was a little hesitant at first, I will say, because of course, you have all kind of gospel artists that are all the way up the ladder, all the way up the chart, that can do runs and everything out of this world. But of course, with prayer and just talking to my family and my mentors, and they were just like, "Listen, you got it, go for it." So after that, and once I began to hear the full sound of "Great I Am," I was like, "Wow, this is really a song. This is really something that can go somewhere. This is something that I'm hoping will bless someone." So that took all that away. So I'm good now.
How has your release of Great I Am been for you so far? I know it's just recent, it's fresh. But what kind of feedback have you been getting so far? Are you excited about that feedback? Is it making you optimistic about the future? What's
I'm getting such great feedback. I mean, phenomenal feedback. I was telling some friend and family members of mine. I was just like, I was not expecting this much of a response. I was thinking, of course, people would say, "Oh, well, great. I've known him since he was a little kid. He put out a song, great. You know, let's send him $1 or whatnot." But the experience has just been wonderful. The support has been amazing, and and again, like I said, this is just the beginning. So I'm super excited about the future.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and obviously you're doing something right because I ran across your music. It was not given to me. It was, I saw it. So, and I was intrigued. And usually, because of this kind of platform that I have, I'm always looking or on, keeping my ear to the ground or my eyes open for new music in general. One of the things I really hope is that comes from this quarantine is that when everybody's free to get back in the studio and do their thing, that it completely turns gospel on its ear. And by that, I mean, that we're getting new sounds, we're getting new
Right.
faces, we're getting, new feels. And it's not just the run of the mill because I'll be honest with you personally, I had got grown kind of tired of the gospel sound as it was because it seemed to just kind of get flat. It was,
Hmm.
and by that I mean everybody's sounding the same. Everybody's kind of doing the same runs. Everybody's kind of the
Right.
same progressions and chords. There wasn't enough artistry, as it were, creativity, originality. That's a very key word.
Exactly.
There wasn't a lot of that. It was everybody's trying to be, you know, Jonathan Nelson or Jacqueline Carr, or Kiara Sheard, or someone else. Rather, and I'm like, when are we going to get fresh sounds in? Like
Right.
infusions and things of that sort. So I'm looking forward, and I pray that I'm not disappointed when we come out of this quarantine. People hit the studio, they're reinvigorated, they're recalibrated, they're fresh, their minds are set on some new stuff. So I look forward to seeing that and see where the industry goes after this. I want to ask you, what advice would you give to someone who's contemplating right now? You were at that point at one point where you were trying to figure out if you were going to do this or not, and like you said, through your mentors and family and others, convinced you to go ahead and move forward. What would you say to someone who's sitting there, maybe that may come across this interview either live or in the playback, and say, "Man, I wonder if I should do this." What would you say to that person?
First thing I would have to say is just pray about it. You
Yeah.
know, be very prayerful behind it. Second thing I would just say is, after you pray about it, go for it. go for it, and ask as many questions. If you have a connection, or if you know someone that knows someone, you know, ask ask, hey, can you get in contact me with, can you get me in contact with such and such or this person, so that I can get on the right direction. And again, everyone in this particular time should be uplifting each other, and we should be encouraging and pushing one another to go forward. So that's just what I would put out there: is go for it, don't be afraid. One of my favorite scriptures is, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of
Yes,
power,
sir.
love, and of a sound mind. So go for it.
Well, with that being said, go for it. We're gonna play "Great I Am" by the great Mr. Jared Boyce here. So let me say this now. For those of you that are watching this, these platforms are optimized for a certain type of devices. So it's best when you hear the music that you have an earpiece or headphones in. It's going to optimize your sound, unless you are like riding in the car somewhere where it can be optimized. So I want to put that out there. So don't y'all be writing me talking, I can't hear it. You got to put your earbuds in. All right. So here we go. Great I Am, Mr. Jared Boyce, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo.
Holy One of days, Lord, you are the great I am. Lord, you are the great I am. You are the great I am.
Yes, sir. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen, Linda, listen, all
Ah.
of y'all listen. First of all, let me say this. I'm sorry. Hello. Stop there. My thing wants to do its own thing. Listen, first of all, let me say this. You gotta go and download this song right now. I need y'all to go to iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Spotify, whatever. Definitely go to Spotify though, because this song is on our playlist. That's right, the Indie Artist Corner
Right.
playlist for All Access Gospel. So just go over to your Spotify search bar, type in All Access Gospel, and you will pull it up. And by the way, there are a lot of other great indie artists on that same playlist. So trust me, if you guys are looking for new music, trying to figure out what's next, or get some inspired by some other artists, go check that out. It's a ton of great music on there that y'all need to go check out. Okay, so I want to know how. First of all, let me shout out again, David Walker, man. I see you watching. He says, "Great interview. Appreciate you, bro." Hey, David, we need to get you on this platform too, man. So I'm gonna be calling or message you or something. All right, want to get you on as well. All right. So Jared, talk about "Great I Am." Where did that come from? Did you write that? Someone else write it? Let's talk about that.
Man, yes, I did write that. It actually came from a dream.
Okay.
I remember being asleep, and I just remember waking up, and I was kept singing that, Holy, Holy One, Holy, Holy. I was just like, okay, gotta do something. So, I just sat on it for a while, and it just began to build. And, like I said, I got with my mentors, and they got me in the right direction. And next thing
Nice,
you know, we have an entire single.
nice. Love it, love it, love it. David says he would love to listen. All right, David, I'm gonna be reaching out, man. Don't forget who I am. Remember this face. Okay. Remember this platform, All Access Gospel. We're gonna be reaching out to you, have you on real soon. Um, so I love the fact that you wrote this, and let me tell you a couple of things that I love about the song. And anytime I get ready to have an artist on, I go and listen to the artist's music because I think it helps me understand who you are and what your voice is. One of the things I love to share with people, especially artists, is this. Um, I think it's so important as an artist to understand that the root word of artist is art, right? And the art is a form of expression. So painters, writers, songwriters, whatever you do, right? What is it that you want to say? I think as an artist, you have to know that. Be true to who you are, be true to what your style is, and then also know who you're trying to speak to. Because what I hear a lot is, oh, I'm a gospel artist. I just want to share the good news of Jesus Christ. Okay, that's great. But there is a target audience for your sound. And do you know who those people are? And I think if people are more geared toward that understanding, it will help them in their pursuit to get the music out, because then you can target who you're trying to reach. So what do you think about that? Is that something similar? Do you agree or
Definitely. For me, I'm trying to reach, listen, I'm trying to reach everybody, but you
right?
know,
Yeah,
that's definitely one thing. Um, I thought about when it came to this particular song, of course, and you talked about the originality. So I just wanted to create something that might have been a little bit different, something that you haven't heard in a while. So
yeah.
definitely.
I first of all, I gotta give a shout out to and thank David, man, because I love to see the camaraderie and support. Especially
This is
when it's cross.
amazing.
When you have leaders, to me, that's a sign of a really great leader. When you have someone that was among what you're doing step out and then you go and support that. To me, that says a lot about who the person is as a character. So your character. So shout out to you again, David, for pushing my boy Jared here. And yeah, I agree with you. I think that you're right. That when you have a certain sound that you're trying to get out, and of course, we want as many people as possible to listen to our music. Okay, and I get that. I think what I was kind of speaking to more was, well, we know there's traditional gospel, and certain crowds respond better to that usually.
Right.
And then you got your contemporary urban. Not everybody's not gonna like that, right? Everybody's not gonna like gospel rap. But know who that is, and then every now and again you get surprised. Somebody that you wouldn't have thought liked it loves it, right?
Right.
So, but I think that's good. And knowing your voice and all that is I think is a good thing. In the final moments of the interview, I want you to speak to, again, just in general, what would you like to say to anyone that is considering listening to Jared Boyce's music?
Listen, what I would just have to simply say, God can do anything but fail.
Yeah.
Listen, because he is the great I am. Greater is he that is in me than he that's in the world. Listen, God, he's a never failing God. So that's just one thing I want um, everyone that's listening to this song. If you decide, you know what, I need to pick me up, go listen to the song. It's definitely going to do it because when writing the song, I wanted to let everyone know who God is to me and what God, has done for me. So, he's definitely healed me. He's definitely been a blessing in my finances. It's just the list goes on and on. So I would just encourage anyone out there to know that God can do anything but fail.
Love it, love it. Do you have any influences that kind of steer you, that you listen to, that you like to go to and listen to? Who inspires you in the industry right now?
Man, I'm really gonna probably have to say I've always been a big Donald Lawrence fan. And I did an interview on my page last Friday, but primarily just because when he writes, it's like he comes from a sincere place.
Thank you.
He
Sorry, I thought we
There
had
we go.
a little something that went on. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just primarily saying, Donald Lawrence.
Yeah,
Because when he writes or when he does
yeah,
produce music, he comes from a very sincere place. He's telling a story. He's not just giving you something that, of course, that you just may want to jump and bump to, but he is telling you, for himself, and he's also encouraging you when he puts out music.
yeah.
You are royalty. You are an heir. So things of that nature. That's just one I would have to put out there.
Absolutely. I love that. And you're right. I agree with the selection that are you choosing Donald Lawrence because one of the things that I like about Donald as well is that he has a very excellent approach to whatever he's working on. You can tell he thought a lot about it. You could tell he
Right.
considered who he was dealing with, from the Clark sisters to the Merles to whomever. You
Yeah.
can tell he has a process. Like he's got a method. It's not when you hear his stuff, you don't think, oh, he just put that together. Like
Right.
he took time, right?
This took time.
Right,
Exactly.
it's conceptual to him, right? And I think that's how we all should strive to be. Because it's like, oh, I'm not just putting stuff out just to get out there, but I'm like, I thought about it. This is what I want to say. I have a story to tell here.
Right.
All of that I think is so important. So yeah, shout out to D. Lawrence, man. One of the greats of all time, living legend, that whole thing. And
Uh-huh.
the work that he did with the Clark Sisters soundtrack and movie was crazy. Yeah, so
Phenomenal.
shout out to him. Definitely. Well, okay. So listen, I definitely got to have you back, man. Certainly whenever you get some new music coming out, we want you to come back here to Alex's Gospel to premiere it. We'd be glad to have you. And again, I would just say to you, stay encouraged because, again, God put you in my path because I honestly did not know you. I don't know you personally and had not heard that you had music coming out until like literally maybe a few days ago. And so, but when I clicked on it, I was impressed with your graphics and things of that sort. So I'm telling y'all, artists, this stuff is so important. Your branding is everything. You need to be on point with that because you don't know who's watching you and you don't
Right.
know who, because honestly, your branding alone got me interested enough to even go check out your song. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And thus have you on the platform. So these things are important. When you hear that advice from creatives and industry individuals, make sure that you're
Right.
paying attention, artists, to that stuff because it really could open doors for you. So with that being said, man, I want to thank you again for being on our platform. Tell the people again how they can reach you on social media and booking and all that.
Again, you can reach me on Facebook at Jared Boyce. You can reach me on Instagram at Jared Boyce as well. Also, you can email me at bookingjarrett@gmail.com. Again, that's bookingjarrett@gmail.com. You can find me, like I said, on my social media platforms. You will see where I have product. You can purchase a t-shirt. You can get a hard copy of the CD. Listen,
Yes,
I
indeed.
went old school, old school. But no, thank you again for having me. Thank you so, 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 so much.
Absolutely, man. It was my pleasure. You're welcome back anytime. That's like that. Look, promote, promote, promote. I'm laughing because I like that. That's good. Always promote your stuff. Everywhere you go, I love that you came to the interview with your t-shirt on. That's how you get it done, folks. So pay attention. Y'all watching this out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you guys again, you see it here on your screen. Make sure that you go over to our Twitter and Instagram pages and do at AA Gospel. Make sure that you follow us over there and like our page. I also want to ask that you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/All Access Gospel. Make sure that you subscribe so that whenever we go live, like we're live now on YouTube over there, that you can get that notification. All right. And then our website, www.allaccessgospel.com. If you guys that are watching out there, if you're an artist and you want to be considered for Indie Artist Corner, please just send us an email at info@allaccessgospel.com or just visit our website. Again, www.allaccessgospel.com. And we love you guys for watching. Thank you so much. I'm Derek Huggins, and he is Jared Boyce. Great I am. Go get it right now. Get it. Don't stop. Get it. No, I love you guys. Have a good one. We out. All right, Jared. Talk to you next time.
All right.